purpose for this is just to explain to everyone the differences between Matterport and Faro. We're not going to really go into depth about the scanners itself as much, but you are more than welcome to let us know if you want a full demo on either one of the scanners, and then we will glad to come over and demo it for you. Right. Cool.
Okay, cool guys, yeah. So thanks for joining us. Just a quick intro. My name is Sean Solomon. I'm an applications engineer here at Modena, and I'm joined with Peter Buerta, our scanning expert. Just so you guys know, we had a conversation before the meeting, so I'll go easy on you. If it seems a bit one-sided, just know I have to work with him on Monday. So.
Same office.
Okay, cool. Let's get it started.
Okay, I'm Peter Buerta. I've been doing scanning for 5 years at Modena, using the Faro scanners. So any question related to Faro scanning and software, more than welcome to ask me afterwards. Great. So let's go to start with the nice battle animations. Cool.
So just to give you guys some understanding, what is Matterport? So Matterport is a US company, and they actually create these cameras along with software that kind of processes the scan data. Now, what do you really use Matterport for? Well, we've seen it used in applications for real estate, areas where you want to show off a nice visual of your space. Hotels, properties where you kind of let the space do the talking and you're just there to to collect the money at the end, basically. So Matterport really is tuned for these stuff, and they've made it as simple as possible for you to use these scanners or pick up and play in a loose sense of the term. You just put the scanner down, you use your phone, and it runs, and you just move it to space. So that's pretty much it on the Matterport. Just a brief overview.
So, on the Faro side, what Faro does is it does LiDAR scanning. It uses a blue shift laser, so it calculates the time it takes to reach the surface and returns back. It unfortunately does not penetrate any surface. And therefore it is an eye-safe laser, so you can use it on sites with people working there in office spaces. It's not going to damage anyone's eyes at all. And as you can see there, that's basically the method it does when scanning. So the scanner will rotate on its axis and then also capture all the space at that point of view. So if you need to capture additional information around the corner, you would have to move the scanner then to capture that point of view. We always try to get an overlap between the scans of about 40%, just so that we can get an accurate registration at the end of the day. Round one on the battle of the scans.
You got to just walk around the room. Come on.
Okay, so round one is the specs of the scanners on both sides. On Faro's side, our batteries last about 4 hours each. So we do recommend that if you do purchase a scanner, that you get an additional battery so you can have a full day's worth of scanning. And then our scanner only weighs 4.4 kilograms without the tripod. With the tripod, it's about 5.4 thereabouts. The tripod is about 900 grams. So it is a one-man job, so you don't have to kill yourself walking with the scanner in a tunnel of a mine, for example, like I did on Wednesday. It gets heavy after a while, but push through it. And then also, with the built-in camera of the scanner, you can get up to 867 megapixels of photo quality. So that is an export photo from the software that you can get that kind of quality. So it takes 66 photos with a 13 megapixel camera, and then you get that megapixel of it. And the models that we have for the scanner, we have a 70-meter range, which is perfect for most applications. And then we have a 150 meter and a 350 meter range. So that range doesn't mean that I can scan at this spot and then 350 meters along I can do another scan. So I still need that overlap between scans. So we don't normally exceed 10 meters between scan locations.
Hey Peter, I can see you only have 4 hours. That's why your scanner is so heavy, huh? You don't have to carry that around for 10 hours. So the Matterport, it's 10 hours. It means you can do multiple projects in the same day. Here I have the Pro 2. There's also the Pro 3. But that's only 4 hours, unfortunately. The Pro 2 weighs 3.4 kg, so not too heavy on you compared to the Matterport, compared to the Faros. The Pro 3 is even lighter, 2.2 kgs. And then the megapixels, Peter made it sound fancy with his 867, but you get 134 megapixel camera, that's 4K, you're not going to know the difference. Don't worry. The range is only 5 to 10 meters, 5 on the Pro 2, 10 on the Pro 3, but I mean, it gets the job done. And yeah, I don't know who's looking 150 meters away.
Well,
You're going to side with your binoculars for this one.
you can scan that distance as well. That's mostly for your open pit mining, if you have open pit mining to scan, or also skyscrapers. So we can't reach that level with the scanner, so from the ground level we can scan the distance and we can get accurate information at the distance then as well. So looking at round 2, time and accuracy between the different scanners. So on Faro's side, okay, I know it might look a bit confusing, but at the bottom there is actually 1 minute.
This just takes very long. Don't sugarcoat it.
Wait, let me do my part. So 1 minute for the scan, that's on the lower settings. So obviously depending on the settings that we use on the scanner, if the time can go up higher, the more quality you require from the scan data. So looking at a normal architectural building, we can do about 11 million points a scan. And then that's about 57 seconds with the new scanner. So the new premium scanner that we have here is replacing the previous S range. And the premium scanner is up to 50% faster than the previous scanner. So that is a massive improvement on time on site as well. I don't know if improvement on time on site is a big word, but it's less times.
Okay.
And I can cover external open spaces about 7,000 to 8,000 squares in a day with the new premium scanner that is so fast. So it's a really massive improvement on time, where previously we could only have done about 3,000 squares a day externally.
Okay, Peter, you're talking as long as your scanners take to scan. It's 30, on the Matterport Pro 2 and Pro 3, it's only 30 seconds, guys. There's no different settings, it's straight to the point, 30 seconds per scan. You get the 4K resolution, 130 megapixels, that's it.
What's your range?
5 to 10 meters. So 5 on the Pro 2 and then 10 on the Pro 3. But again, you're not going to go take this to a mine because nobody wants to see a mine. They really want to see that penthouse apartment, and yeah, it does the job there.
Yeah, well,
Show me a 100-meter penthouse.
I can do that. No problem. Scan it quickly. The Leonardo I can scan from the ground up. Talking about the scanner and mines. So if you are underground, for example, and it is pitch black darkness and you can't see anything, the scanner will see everything. The only problem is that you won't have any colorized photo, point cloud that comes with it. So everything is going to be grayscale. But it's still enough information for anyone to see the size of the members, or the size of the tunnel, or anything like that. So it's really, I don't like the darkness that much. So unfortunately I have to sometimes. But the scanner really helps with this little blue light, makes a lot of lighting in darkness. So that really helps a lot on my side. But the scanner doesn't need any light. You can turn off all lamps, it doesn't matter. It's dark, dark, dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face. The scanner will see every single detail there is of it. Talking about the scan accuracy, Sean, you want to go first in this one?
Okay, the Matterport Pro 2 and Pro 3 both have 5 to 10 millimeter accuracy. That means a meter away, you get about 10 millimeters deviance in your points. Not the most accurate in comparison to the Faro, but I don't know if you're going to notice the difference. That's Peter's job to convince you that you can. So
10 millimeters per 1 meter.
So a meter away from an object, you get about a 10 millimeter deviancy.
My scanner. So Faro has released 2 scanners. As you can see there's the Faro Core and the Faro Premium. So the Faro Core is replacing the M70. It's got a 2 millimeter deviation per scan. The Faro Premium has got a 1 millimeter deviation. So I can scan a massive building and walk away with a deviation of about 3 to 5 millimeters. Okay. If we do floor for floor, I can come down to 1 millimeter per floor on the scan data. So that's why mine is blue on the left, so it's a lot more accurate than the Matterport. But the Matterport, I have to say, great visualization. The Faro has also got a very good camera built into it, but because we're using a lot of point clouds, you will just see a lot of dots everywhere on your scan data, where the Faro is, the Matsport is basically just nice pictures.
Very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
Okay. Round three. Yes.
Can you tell me how do you coordinate, like how do you set your coordinates?
Sure, we'll
How
get
do
to
you
that.
get your positional accuracy, satellites, or how do you do that?
So the Matsport, I don't believe it's got a GPS built into it. You have to basically move.
We'll talk about it in this segment. Okay. So yeah, just on the Matterport side, how it works is you have the hardware and the software. The hardware is what you're looking at here: the camera, the tripod, and your phone. Now, yes, it doesn't have a GPS, but your phone has that information for you. So it uses the internet to kind of pick up that information. All you do is you take the camera to site, you connect it to the app on your phone, and you start scanning. You start placing it down and where you want to scan, and it starts to register and put the data for you. Once you're all done, you upload it onto Matterport's website, where they use their software to actually register the information and put it all together for you. So that's kind of the give and take that you get. So the camera doesn't hold a lot of the information. That's up to your mobile device as well as Matterport's website and their IP.
Sorry, one question. What happens if you're not in an area that has
Wi-Fi?
data? You know,
Okay, so the nice thing is the Matterport has its own Wi-Fi. It doesn't connect to the internet, it has a 5G connection, so you connect to it on its own hotspot. When you're done scanning, you take it home wherever you get a connection and then you upload. So you don't really need internet when you're on site. You can do all of that stuff afterwards.
okay, because I was worried if you're somewhere rural, there's no signal.
No, definitely. You can take it, turn it on, scan, you'll start to see a little mini map of what you scanned already. And then when you're done, you take that data home, and then when you're on a good Wi-Fi connection, upload it. Projects are fairly not that big. You're looking at 2 to 3 gigs on a project on the high end. So it's not really a distressing thing. It shouldn't be not too data intensive.
Okay, let's assume that your client says you know where to have your geolocation on your phone switched on when you're on their site. Then
Okay, no, you don't have to turn it on. So you can use that option to set up your project and you start scanning. If you don't want to, you can just name your project whatever you want. It's really up to you. You have the flexibility. It doesn't tag this to that location. So it's not really like something you have to switch off in a sense. It uses your phone GPS.
but
It's
your
similar-
phone's tags location, your client says you can't use your phone on site, so there's geolocation on it.
Yeah, you can just off your phone's location. You get the
No,
app.
that's what the client saying, you cannot have that on.
You cannot have the location on.
So
Well,
Yeah.
you can set it up afterwards as well.
Yeah, you can set it up. So
So,
you can
yeah.
set up a
Yeah.
blank project.
But it-
How that recognize where you stay.
So it won't recognize where you were standing on the scan positions, but on a project level, you can give it a coordinate to move towards. So it's not as accurate. With the
Is that
coordination.
not then reliant on having a XY coordinate set out on a grid on site that you can then position these at those points?
It develops
Right.
it develops it.
Yeah,
Your
so
first scan position is set to 0, and then it grows out from there.
Okay.
So whatever you slot in as your coordinate system afterwards, it will just work back.
I think we may have like some footnotes
I wanna
so
get
I can
the
go back to
Pharaoh
what I can get back in.
sorry, say again.
I want to hear the Pharaoh answer to my question.
Okay, so on Faro's side, we don't use really the geolocated area. If you want to geolocate your point cloud, we would still require a surveyor on site to survey at least 4 points, and then we can bring those 4 surveyed points into the point cloud to coordinate that according to the wall space. Right. So on the Faro side, yeah. So what we require hardware-wise for Faro is the scanner. All other options like the smartphone, the FaroStream app, FaroSphere, those are all optional extras that you can use. So as with the Matsport, you have to use your phone to do the registration of the scan data. With Faro, they've developed the Stream app that does a pre-registration for you on site. So as you start scanning, it automatically starts downloading the data to your phone. And then as soon as you're done with your project, everything's pre-registered. So when you get back to the office, you don't have to go through the tedious process of having to place all the scans in the correct location. It is done for you, already on site. So you just finalize the registration, and then you're done. You can export and clean up to a recap file format, so you can use it in any Autodesk software. Right, and then with the computer specs, Matsport doesn't need computer specs to run it. It's all web-based, but unfortunately Faro needs to. The data is quite massive. So we do use a gaming laptop. A mid-range one would be good. We can provide links to the proper specs if you do require it. And then obviously we need a Faro Scene license. So Faro Scene is the software used by Faro to do all the registration, and it is a lot faster than any previous software that I've used because it does everything basically automatically for you, especially if you use the Stream app. Very great to use that. Great, so then before you run, Paul. Can't go back, Paul. Okay, just before we get there, talking on the coordinate system that Faro uses, the scanner itself, it's a built-in coordinate system, so it does use XYZ values for the scan data, and that assists the software then to bring in all the scans together to create your full 3D point cloud. So, like I said, then if you do want to coordinate, you just need a surveyor then on site with us.
Okay, cool. So I think the last, round 4, before the last round, we're just going to talk about workflows. So I kind of touched on this already, but the idea is you just take your scanner to site, you place it down wherever you need to be scanned, and you connect to the app. You let it run, it takes 30 seconds per scan, you move it to wherever you need it to be, and it does this pre-registration on the app, which looks like that. So you need your phone, the camera, and once that's all done, you just upload your scans, and like Peter said, the website will do it for you. The software and Matterport will register and put it all together. The idea of this is to make it as easy as possible. You know, for real estate agents, it's almost a pick up and play type of camera where you don't need to work hard to get your point clouds or your walk. That's kind of its core, and it's meant to be able to be multifunctional. So you don't have to use the Matterport Pro tool. You can use other cameras and use Matterport's website to register the data. So yeah, that's pretty much the workflow is very straightforward. They do charge you. It's on a subscription. Yeah.
Sorry, a couple of questions. So what we saw on screen, was that recap? So that's a
No.
3D model, or is that?
No, that's from Matterport. So Matterport, you can get a point cloud out of that, and then you can take that into either Recap or whatever software you want to use to kind of draw it out. So it does give you some as-built functionality. The Pro 2 isn't the best scanning outside. The Pro 3 is kind of more focused on that, and the idea is to give you more accurate measurements with a combination of LiDAR, infrared, and photogrammetry.
No, but now, let's say you want to produce as-built drawings from your Matterport.
Yeah.
Would you then have to have recap, or could you just bring this straight into AutoCAD or Revit and trace 3D?
You'd use Recap to kind of make it into RCP or RCS, because that's what you need for Revit. But what you get from Matterport when you download the point cloud, you get an XYZ file, and then that should have to kind of convert into a format that can be taken into Autodesk projects.
Okay. On Faro's side, sorry, this is a lot longer than Matterport's side.
It's because it's a lot harder, so you need to explain.
Yeah, it's not harder, it's just steps apart. Alright, so the process would be that we capture the data on site with the scanner using our Stream app, as you can see with the phone. And then from there on, you can either leave it at that point and don't take it any further, or as with Matterport, you can upload it to Faro's Sphere. It's an online platform for Faro's data, which will then process your scans for you while when it's uploaded. And then when you get back to the office, you can just download the scans and carry on with your work. So it eliminates a lot of office work doing it this way. But the old way is still valid, where you scan and then take the SD card, plug it into your computer, copy the data over, and then you process and register everything you've been seen. But now things have been redefined. So now we use the Stream app, which pre-registers your scans for you. So you eliminate that step in the office. And then if you want to, you can upload it to Faro Sphere, which will then process the scans and you can just download it to the office. Or you copy the data over at the office on your laptop and you process the data then locally. So you eliminate the need to upload and download if you don't have connections on site. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot of clicking on this slide. Now I went too far. There we go. So there are 3 options that we can work with the scanner. scanner, we can do it like the old days. We can even do it without the phone. We don't need the phone. Just copy the data straight to the SD card and then take it to your computer. Or we can use the phone on an offline version, and then with the phone, that pre-registration data is saved on the SD card. So you don't need your phone later on to copy that data over or to upload it. And then the online solution would be then to use the Stream app. You upload it when you're at the site. Let's say I'm in Angola, I scan there, I upload it to the site, and the guys in the office here can then download that information and then carry on working with it, and I can carry on scanning. So then I don't have to worry about the registration part of it, and my job can flow more quicker on that side. And then the job can flow more quicker on this side. So we can eliminate that waiting period then for me to come back into the country. Looking at the Faro Stream app, this is what it will look like. So you can see your scan data as the top view as with Matterport. And as soon as that first scan is done and the second scan is done, they will be registered together. If you do scan too far apart, it won't register, and then you can just do another scan in between for it to pick up the space that you scanned, and then the scan that didn't register will then register to the other scans. Okay, so that it will show you on site. If you have missed anything, you can go back and scan that before you leave the site, and not having to return it later on.
But at 300, we said how many meters? 350.
Yeah, that's the maximum range it can scan.
Do you set it, or does it automatically, that's like maximum?
So you have to purchase the model that you want, that you need. So if it's a 70 meter, you purchase a 70, and
Oh,
the
there's
same for the
different-
150 and the 350.
Different models for each.
Different models, yes, for the range. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the range, the different models, there's no difference between them at all, except for the range that you can scan at. So all the accuracy and everything else is exactly the same between them.
It doesn't matter with the quality, like resolution. So for long distances, if you scan high resolution, it's more.
So, as an example, at 11 million points, the one we usually use for architecture, you got at 10 meters, a point distance between 2 points of 12 millimeters. So the higher the resolution, the lower those point distance becomes. So if you do want to scan open pit mining, which is 350 meters or whatever, then you have to put it on at least 175 million points per scan. Okay. So the highest quality the scanner can go is 700 million points per scan. Okay, but it's overkill.
It's longer scan time as well.
Yeah, it's about, well, they made it so much quicker, so it's about half an hour. But on the X range, it was 2 hours. Okay, I did that once with It's way
That's
too
the
long.
point where you take a lounge chair with you, right?
Say again?
That's the point where you take a lounging chair with you.
Yeah.
Actually,
Because
that's
it's
a
not
trend
that-
that allows-
that's what that's going to be done.
With the Leica photos and scan on high, nearly an hour.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
this is good. There's a reason why Leica's not here.
Yeah, but also bear in mind if your Faro has 4 hour
Battery life.
Yeah.
and you can takes 2 hours to do one scan, you get 2 scans per trip.
Exactly, but they've improved it so much. But that's 4 scans on that resolution. But that was on the old scanner, so the new ones are a lot faster. And also, if you turn off your photographs, okay, you only save a minute and a half, but a minute and a half can make a massive difference at the end of the day. But then you get your grayscale data and, you know. Right, so the Pharosphere is the online platform. So with all the data being uploaded, the Steam project is created, where WebShed project is also created. So from on the Stream app, it is totally free. On the premium scanner, on the Focus Core, it is an optional extra, unfortunately. But yeah, really helps a lot with scanning. And I've been working with the scanner. It is an insane time saver on sites. So also you get your real-time feedback when using the Stream app. So like I said, if you miss anything, you will clearly see it on the data because there will be no data. Then you can just go around the corner and then rescan it or do an additional scan just to get that additional data required.
Admittedly, that is a good thing that Faro brought in. I will give that to you.
Thanks, more man. Appreciate it.
Sorry, Fara's wearing pants down.
Okay, wait. So the Pharosphere, the online platform, you basically, from scene, you upload your project to Sphere, which is the cloud-based. And then there you can share that link to any client anywhere in the world. So they don't need to install any software to view the point cloud. They can, from there, do annotations, they can do measurements, they can inquire certain areas, and you can collaborate basically on WebShare Cloud with the point cloud between the client, which is also great, having to send them 750 gigs worth of data over the internet. It's not really going to work that well.
Is that compatible with structured cloud?
Yes, you can add a badge or I don't know what to call it now. Just no problem. You can add a what do you call it? A tag or something. Yeah. So it's basically just a link within your ACC cloud that you can click on, and then it will open up the WebShare page.
An embedded link.
Yeah, basically an embedded link. Same with Matsport and Holler Builder and all of those other softwares that we have. They're all integrated with ACC and BIM 360. Okay, and then, yeah, as I explained, the project completion, you can just download the project then from Sphere and then carry on working on your own computer if necessary on that. And then also we can import into Faro WebShare Cloud. We can import CAD design with the point cloud. So if you have any models that's been designed on your point cloud, we can upload those models, and then your client can also view the design intent on top of the point cloud. And this is centralized access to all cloud services from Faro. So once you have your WebShare Cloud project set up, you will have access to a lot of Faro content as well on their website there for all the clients. Okay. Final round. Okay, we just have a few show reels here to showcase some of the data that we have between Matsport and Faro. So firstly is Matsport.
Okay, so just on the Matterport, I know you guys listen to Peter talk about more accuracy, more points, but I just want to preface that, also more cost, but anyways, I want to just preface that there are two different scanners, and there's a reason why, because this isn't meant to go and scan in mines. It's not meant for high data. It's not meant for large data for high accuracy. It's more visuals. It's this easy scanner that you can take anywhere, and you don't need a lot of training to use and operate. The workflows are very straightforward and quick. And that's what Matterport is trying to sell you. It's trying to sell you this kind of this visibility and transparency that you can share with stakeholders, with clients, to show them their projects without them needing to go see it themselves. Or, yeah, the idea for them is easily accessible data and quick and easy to use. So, yeah, Faro is amazing, and I've actually worked with both of them. And Faro is amazing for as-builds, for looking at construction, for looking at things that exist. Well, Matterport is amazing for these visuals where you can give people experiences that they can't be there themselves to do. Live events, you know, things that people can't actually go to a dealership and see a car. Maybe they need to wait a month to save up for that car. So that's what Matterport gives you. It gives you this kind of tangibility from your home. And that's what they kind of push.
Yeah. So with Matterport being pretty pictures.
Matterport has a lot of heart.
So Faro, like Sean said,
Look at this
is,
machine. No feeling.
like Sean said, Faro is accuracy. That's where our aim is. So we are highly involved within the mining industry as well, scanning a lot of engineering, construction, steel members, you know, anything to do with mining. Underground, above ground, doesn't matter. I've even scanned on an oil rig. Even at, what was it, Total's petroleum plant in Cape Town. So it is safe to use in such environments, but it does not have a certificate, unfortunately, for the gas environment. As it is a lithium-ion battery, it can spark, but it just doesn't. But there's no certificate for it, unfortunately. But accuracy on this is very great. So on the scanner, like I said, it's a millimeter accuracy, and much better than what we can get with Matsport. Sorry, man. And yeah, no, don't go so far. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. This one was. Okay.
It looks like Faro issue.
It is a play button failure on the. There we go. All right, so this is a piece of equipment that we scanned on 44 million points for this, and I did do a couple of scans so we can get all angles as much as possible. All of this was scanned from the ground up, so there was no additional scans done on any higher levels. So you can see the amount of data you can get. With the distance we can scan as well. If we do scan in warehouses, for example, I can scan the members at the very top of the roof. So no more scaffolding to be built up to get sizes up there or anything like that. I just need to scan all the angles and we can get the member sizes as accurately to the millimeter. Right. While this is playing, do you guys have any other questions? Yeah, back.
I'm not anything with price concerning scale. I think you live in the important part. Why are the prices? Because whenever you need to buy it,
Yes,
when
that
you
is
talk
true.
about the features and everything, you need to know how much you get.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Do you want to go first, Peter? Try to give us the bad news first, or the good news first? So the whole Matterport package, you're looking at between 70 to 80,000. Again, also registering your point clouds comes at a subscription fee as well as extracting any additional data. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It really depends on what you want to use it for. So I think
The
yeah,
range. Is there a
range I'd say between, it's actually very varied, but I'd say at the high end it's $60 a month on keeping it as a month-to-month.
unlimited users or?
Actually, I'm not too sure. You'd have to come back to me.
Yeah,
So
it's spaced.
It's
So
spaced.
seed-based. Seed-based. So $60 a month, you're getting 25 projects
Per month.
per month.
When you say project seats,
So that's 25 projects you can have online.
regardless of the size of the data capture.
So if you, sorry if I'll chip in on this one, but if you scan multi-level buildings and you keep each floor as a separate project, that will act as an active space. Each floor will then be an active space. If you combine the whole building into one project, it will be a one active space. Okay. With Faro on the other side, everything is locally saved unless you use WebShare Cloud, which has then got an additional fee to it. Nolene there in the background has got all the pricing on that, so if you guys are interested,
I
you
don't
can
mind
just
just
ask her.
scanning up and just quickly saying. So our entry-level scanner is coming at about 490,000, and then of course they can step up all the way close to $1 million if you like, if you want the 350 range scanner. But yeah, so for 490,000, you've got a survey grade scanning device, IP54 rated. Yeah.
So with the, yes, sorry, with the IP rating it means that it's water resistant and dust resistant. So still can't immerse it in the water, but you can scan in rain. I don't like it because I get wet, but I can scan in
What's
rain.
the IP rating of the Matterport?
What is It's IP43. I don't know what that means, but IP43.
That's
If it's IP65, it's lost.
So don't throw a bucket of water on it, but just scan in good conditions. I think it's good for you and the scanner if you scan in ideal conditions, well lit, nice aircon system going on. Yeah, it's pretty good. So,
Okay, so the question is, point clouds are very, very difficult to work with in 3D software, particularly Revit, so processing power, you need to generate a Revit model out of the point cloud. Is there, and there are other intuitive software out there that will know once you tell them that it's pipe, it will then pick up that pipe extends so many meters and so on and so on. Have they improved on that? Are you guys like other companies that offer a service where you will scan and then provide a Revit model of that?
Yes, we do offer that service. So we do offer the service of scanning itself, and we do offer the service of the modeling side of it as well. Talking about the software, is Faro do have also, it's called As-Built, so As-Built for Revit and As-Built for AutoCAD. It is software that assists you with your modeling. It is still a bit manual, so you have to still click on the beams to tell the software to look in this space into my library, and then it will search your library for the best fit into the point cloud. And then you can just approve it and carry on with the work. So as with Revit, Revit doesn't like to model at different angles, but with the as-built software, If that beam is actually installed at this angle, it will place that beam at this angle. So that's the nice thing about that. And you can actually get the angles that it is exactly like on site. It still doesn't model a bend in there. Do little sections to get that. But
What will ours be angled? If we scan.
Yeah, it will. I mean, they level it out, eh?
Mm. So the Faro scanner's got a built-in inclinometer. So it is not a self-leveling system. You still have to manually adjust it with the tripod legs. So if you scan at different slopes, you can change your legs to accommodate for that, and then be level.
Adjust. So at 450,000 rand, it can't tell you
So you
For
have
400
5 degree self-adjustment.
5 degrees.
Yeah. So you just need to get it within 5 degrees.
Yeah.
So normally what that is, if it looks level enough to the eyeball, the internal self-adjustment will adjust the model for it.
Yeah. So normally what you try to do is your very first scan, you need it as level as possible. So that will be your anchor scan. All the other scans will then anchor to that one and then adjust their levels to fit according to the first scan.
You put it on, yes, is it on the...
It's actually got the inclinometer that you can see on the.
Yeah. My scan's been running all day and my battery decided.
So it's got a little inclinometer on it so that you can see if it's
Yes. It will also give you a little warning. It's got a
It will
little
give you a warning if it's.
icon at the top to say if it's level or not level. But it's not a major thing if it's a little bit out of level. It doesn't need to be exact. Like when I said it's 5 degrees, and that is quite a lot. 5 degrees, from my experience, is about this angle. So it is quite a lot to work with, and that is very helpful. Especially if you need to do very quick scanning on the ground, where it's very warm.
So is it possible to do like a whole open cast mine in one day using?
It does depend on the size.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But
But
typical.
I can scan open pit mining. I would say, let's say the opening is about 1 kilometer.
Yeah.
I think in 2 days you would be able to
2 days.
get it done, yeah. And then that would be high resolution scanning, and then with high resolution scanning we can jump a little bit further between scans because we've got a lot of surface around us that we can capture and do the registration with. It's also got a built-in GPS like your cell phone does, so it's not super accurate, but that really does also assist with registration. It doesn't assist with coordinating the point cloud, it's just with the registration of the scans. To place it in the correct position. Matterport doesn't have GPS.
It doesn't need GPS.
Yeah, it's only internal, man.
Okay, so everything good? No other questions?
I'll take the metal prospects.
I think on the Matterport, something Sean didn't mention is it's got an infrared laser that does your measurements from the Matterport. And because of the infrared laser, if you scan outside in sunlight, the sun's beams basically cancels out the laser and just doesn't.
Just don't add extra rounds to this thing.
I'm
Wait
just
wait
saying.
until the Pro 3 comes.
That's
That's what
like
we
it.
get.
We'll have another session like this.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
See you there.
Cool, thank you.
Did
Thank you.
one more question?